Well, I was walking down the street, feeling kind of neat, when the wind came out your butt and blew my wig off. Oh, it was a sight to see, my hair flying in the breeze, 'cause the wind came out your butt and blew my wig off. People started laughing, they couldn't believe their eyes as my wig flew through the sky. Oh, what a surprise. I tried to catch it, but it slipped right through my hands, 'cause the wind came out your butt and now it's somewhere in the land. Oh, wind came out your butt, blew my wig off. Baby, you drive like shit. Did you see the car that you almost hit? I'd rather take the bus instead. Riding with you, I'm gonna end up dead. Don't ask me if I need a lift. Baby, you drive like shit. She just ran through always stop. I ain't trying to get stopped by the cops. Baby, why the hell did I let you drive? It's a miracle that you're still alive. Don't ask me if I need a lift. Baby, you drive like shit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look out, my girl is driving. Watch out, my girl drives like shit. Whoa, 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 whoa. My girl is driving. Watch out, my girl drives like shit. No pain, no hurt to pick your tongue. Gotta let you know I will fuck you up. I whoop that ass, talking all that shit, spank that ass like a bitch. No, I ain't playing. I'm here to kick ass. Whoop that ass. It's time to punch face. I'm the one who brings you pain in the ring. I whoop that ass until the bell rings. Already know that I do not play. Throw a punch like I'm cutting down hay. I whoop that ass every single night. Spank that ass till they stop the fight. I'll tell you the story of a man, a radioactive tip in his hand. His hand grew 10 times its normal size to help him get his money on time. He knew if the bitch was telling a lie, it was 100% of the time. Superpowers to make a bitch listen, then get her naked with sex-ray vision. Keep a police station in a single bound, slapping bitches down to the fucking ground. His name was famous across the land. They called him the pimp named Superhand. Oh shit, yeah, the pimp named Superhand. He had powers no other pimp had. Oh fuck yeah, pimp named Superhand. That motherfucker was super bad. Asking for dinner ain't asking for much. You had one job and still fucked it up. Sometimes you gotta learn respect. I use my pimp hand to correct. It's called a bitch slap, slap. Come get your face down. Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Welcome back. Welcome back. One more day, one more again in the building. I am your host, School for Justice, here where we live, love, laugh, and destroy police brutality. And we're in Tennessee tonight, you all. So sit back, relax, get your wine, get your coffee, get your popcorn, whatever you may need. Stretch out your legs and let's jump on top of the content. Shout out to Lackluster, out at the Audit, Georgia Tech, JBJ Network, and all of my colleagues. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump right on into the topic. Smash that like button as you enter into the door. I greatly appreciate your support. All right, thanks for sharing.
The late evening of December 3rd, 2021, Officer Teddy Dyer, Officer Candace Miller, and Sergeant David Myrick of the East Ridge Police Department in Tennessee responded to a call for a well child check at the residence of Haley Sherrard. When they arrived at the home, they found Haley's mother, Angel Sherrard, along with her son Devin, in a vehicle in front of the house. Officer Dyer approached the vehicle from the right passenger side. The encounter that followed was captured on his body camera.
Hello.
What's up?
Hey, do you live here?
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
We'll skip that
My
ad.
daughter's living here.
Is she in this?
All right, so just to jump on there real quick, we got an officer who had a call to come out to a local resident, a home, for the safety of a child. This is about a 2-year-old child who was told that could be in danger or need some help. So his purpose for being called out here on the scene is to see about a child, a 2-year-old child. Now, this lady is sitting outside of her daughter's house, and she came to come pick up her daughter or give her a ride. All right, so this is what we got going on. We in Tennessee tonight, y'all. Let's represent. Smash that like button, share, and definitely let's subscribe.
Is that 893?
Yeah, it is.
All right, hang on 1 second for me, okay?
Something wrong?
Well, we got called to check on a child.
What
Well,
child?
I don't know. They didn't tell us. They just said do a welfare check.
From when? Like, what did they say?
I don't know. We'll go up and knock. Is that your daughter coming now?
Yeah.
What's her name? Hey, going up to the door.
Well, how old is the child?
2 years old? Is there a 2-year-old that lives here? Okay.
I bet it was
4 Mike 3, 7 Golf 4.
Why are you running my tag?
Because I smell marijuana.
You smell marijuana.
Yes.
Because you smell marijuana, that gives you the right to run my tag.
Not only that, I'm going to search your car.
You're not going to search anything.
Yes, ma'am.
No, you're not.
I promise you.
You are
and
not going to break
not
my
only-
rights right now.
You're about to get your rights in the back of my car.
Well, it's not.
So immediately, the officers shift the whole scene, the whole focus on he smells marijuana. Now he wants to run her tag to see if there's any warrants for her arrest, is what that is about, and up and do a search. Now he wants to do an illegal search in the vehicle. So at this point, he's attacking her. When he stepped to her and asked her, does she know anything about the child, any information, where the child lives, who is the baby's parents? You know, at this, he just shifted the whole atmosphere, the whole scenery into her and that he smells marijuana. All right, so let's just see where it's headed at from here.
What you want to do because you're going to get in real big when you do. Because I haven't done anything. I haven't violated any rule or anything. You just sit there and talk to me and you're going to search my car.
I am going to search your car.
And you're running my tag.
I am going to search your car.
I'm not doing anything but sitting out here waiting for my daughter to come back out.
I don't care. Your car's going to be searched. And if you interfere with my search, I will put you in the car.
Okay,
I will take you to
you
jail.
go ahead and you violate my rights then.
Okay, put your hands on the car.
You violate my rights.
Put your hands on the car.
Officer Dyer claims he is going to run the vehicle.
Put your hands on the car. What? And she's just sitting out here waiting on her daughter. She's at her daughter's home. You were not called out there for her. You don't even know this lady. This is a complete stranger, an innocent bystander. You're on an active duty call pertaining to a 2-year-old child. So what are we doing here? What's going on? Let's check out what the next step is from here.
Tags and search it because he smells marijuana. Tennessee is one of the minority of states that, as of the date of writing this episode, have not legalized or decriminalized either recreational or medical marijuana, although the state has legalized hemp and CBD oil. Accordingly, in the 1976 case of State versus Hughes, the Supreme Court of Tennessee held that the odor of marijuana coming from a vehicle constitutes probable cause to believe that the vehicle contains contraband marijuana. In the 2022 case of State versus Hampton, the Court of Criminal Appeals of Tennessee rejected an argument that with the legalization of hemp, the quote-unquote plain smell of marijuana no longer established probable cause for a warrantless vehicle search, as the smell of marijuana is indistinguishable from the smell of hemp, concluding that, now quoting, until our Supreme Court or our legislature determines otherwise, the smell of marijuana continues to establish probable cause for the warrantless search of an automobile. Accordingly, if a court believed Officer Dyer's assertion that he smelled marijuana, it is highly likely that it would determine he had the probable cause necessary to search Ms. Sherrard's vehicle. As to the constitutionality of running Ms. Sherrard's tags, courts have consistently concluded that officers do not violate the Fourth Amendment by searching for an individual.
All right, y'all. So marijuana is illegal. We're in the South now. We're in Tennessee. So it's not legalized there. But as we heard the moderator say, nor is it decriminalized. So you have marijuana usage or whatnot, but it's not legalized there. So I just want us to keep that in mind.
Individual's license plate in a police database, even when they do not have any reason to suspect any sort of criminality. As the Supreme Court explained in the 1986 case of New York versus Class, quote, a citizen does not surrender all the protections of the Fourth Amendment by entering an automobile. Nonetheless, the state's intrusion into a particular area, whether in an automobile or elsewhere, cannot result in a Fourth Amendment violation unless the area is one in which there is a constitutionally protected reasonable expectation of privacy. The court then held that an officer did not violate the Fourth Amendment by reaching into the passenger compartment of a vehicle stopped for a traffic violation to move papers obscuring its vehicle identification number, or VIN, or VIN, reasoning that individuals do not have reasonable expectations of privacy in their VINs, as they are required by law to be located in a place ordinarily in plain view from the
All right, so we're looking at obscuring papers with insufficient to create a privacy interest in the VIN. That's the VIN number or identification number of the vehicle. VIN number or identification number of a vehicle. All right. And so it says the mere viewing of the formerly obscured VIN was not there, a violation of the Fourth Amendment right.
Exterior of the automobile. Applying this and other precedents, courts have generally concluded that there is no reasonable expectation of privacy in a license plate number, and that officers may therefore run tags of a vehicle in plain view without implicating the Fourth Amendment. For instance, in the 2006 case of U.S. versus Ellison, the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals, which has jurisdiction over Tennessee, determined that, quote, so long as the officer had a right to be in a position to observe the defendant's license plate, any such observation and corresponding use of the information on the plate does not violate the Fourth Amendment. As such, a court would almost certainly find that Officer Dyer was within his constitutional authority to run Ms. Sherrard's plates, regardless of whether or not he actually smelled any marijuana.
Yo, what are you? You're gonna put.
I said put your hands on the car.
You're arresting me for
Put
what?
your hand back up.
Hey, don't you put your. Hey,
This week, we're hosting a free trading and investing workshop right here in Atlanta. Inside this...
Skip the ad.
Hey. Oh my God, I'm so dizzy right now. He just banged my... Oh my God. Oh my God.
Shut up. Prove it.
He's pulling my hair.
Get in the car. Get in the car.
Oh my God, I can't. I'm too big.
Sucks to be you. Get in the car.
I didn't do anything. You're a woman. You're going to treat me like this?
You're going to get tased. Get in the car.
Listen.
Get in the car.
Get in the car.
I'm getting in the car. Okay, I'm in.
Y'all, these people are on straight demon time. Because we're going to find out the officer made up that lie. He never smelled marijuana. There was no marijuana in there. Didn't nobody smoke no weed up in there. So it was a straight lie. Then he calls a female officer on the scene who basically physically touches her and forcing her into the back seat of the vehicle. And this is all because he smells marijuana when you're supposed to be there to see about a child. It's a welfare check on the safety and well-being of a 2-year-old child. So you're not focused on that at all. You don't forgot about all that. Squash the child, squash the baby if the baby is healthy, alive, safe, or well. And now you're focused in and attacking this innocent bystander, this innocent lady who was at her daughter's house to give her a ride or pick her up because you claim you smell marijuana. This is straight on demon time, people. We're going to continue to watch and see what moves they're going to bust next.
Although it is difficult to tell exactly what happened from the body camera footage, and Lackluster reported that the other officer's body camera footage had been quote-unquote purged, Ms. Sherrard's attorney detailed the officer's use of force against her in a federal lawsuit stemming from this encounter. According to the complaint, Officer Dyer grabbed Ms. Sherrard.
And that is a copy of the actual federal lawsuit. We'll go back just a tad. All right. This is circuit court for Hamilton County, state of Tennessee. So Ms. Sherrard filed a lawsuit. This is a copy of the complaint.
Detailed the officer's
the aftermath.
Use of force against her in a federal lawsuit stemming from this encounter. According to the complaint, Officer Dyer grabbed Ms. Sherrard, slammed her face onto the partially opened window of her vehicle, banged her head onto her vehicle, and handcuffed her. The lawsuit also asserts that Officer Dyer then pushed her against the back of a police vehicle and jerked her head backward by grabbing her hair after she had been handcuffed. A few moments later, after Ms. Sherrard was escorted to the police vehicle, Officer Anna Simmons arrived on the scene, and Sergeant Myrick, quote-unquote, drive-stunned Ms. Sherrard with her taser as she struggled to get in the vehicle. The term drive stun refers to holding a taser device against the target without firing the projectiles, which is intended to cause pain, but not incapacitation. Despite the fact...
So they did not actually tase the lady, but it's a shock that gives you a way to cause pain, as the moderator just said, or the narrator was talking about. But they're gonna be funny and tease this lady or, disrespect her on her size and talk about her size and she can't fit in the back seat of the car. And so that's why this female lady comes along to quote unquote tase her or attempting to tase, or it's a warning to go ahead and get fully tased.
Ms. Sherrard explicitly told the officers that she did not believe she was able to get into the back of the vehicle due to her size. Officer Simmons chose to leave this fact out of her police report, which Lackluster obtained and included in his video. According to Officer Simmons' narrative, now quoting, Sherrard was escorted to the police unit, however, continued her refusal of compliance and would not get in the vehicle. Police continued to give numerous lawful orders to get into the police unit, and she did not comply. Police drive-stunned Sherrard to gain compliance, which was successful. Now, as we've discussed before here on ATA, whether or not the use of force during an arrest or investigatory stop of a free citizen is quote-unquote excessive is analyzed under the so-called reasonableness standard of the Fourth Amendment, which guarantees citizens the right to be secure in their persons against unreasonable seizures of the person. As the Supreme Court explained in the landmark 1989 case of Graham versus Connor, although, now quoting, Fourth Amendment jurisprudence...
And as we know, these are examples he's given. The narrator gives different examples of other people that lived in other states from different a variety all over the nation, different civilians who have brought laws into play or who have sued over violation of amendments and rights plus laws. So these are just illustrations and examples that we have here.
Jurisprudence has long recognized that the right to make an arrest or investigatory stop necessarily carries with it the right to use some degree of physical coercion or threat thereof to effect it. Any use of force must be.
You don't know what an AI work management platform is? Yikes. Here's 3 new AI-powered changes.
Reasonable under the totality of the circumstances. In the Graham case, the court noted that, quote, the reasonableness of a particular use of force must be judged from the perspective of a reasonable officer on the scene, rather than with the 2020 vision of hindsight, and ultimately identified 3 factors that courts should consider when evaluating the constitutionality of a use of force, stating that, now quoting, because the test of reasonableness under the Fourth Amendment is not capable of precise definition or mechanical application, its proper application requires careful attention to the facts and circumstances of each particular case, including the severity of the crime at issue.
Okay, question, School for Justice. So far, what we witnessed, did that officer not violate her Fourth Amendment right? What did we just see go down? Was her Fourth Amendment rights not violated? All because he claims he had a smell. He received a smell. Slammed her up against the car, put your hands on the car, and handcuff her and want to shove her into the backup seat of the police car. Not to mention the attack, when he's roughing her up, snatching all on her, jacking her up, pulling her hair, pushing on her, shoving. So what do you call that? Was the Fourth Amendment rights not violated? Make sure you smash that like button as you peep into the door.
The suspect poses an immediate threat to the safety of the officers or others, and whether he is actively resisting arrest or attempting to evade arrest by flight. Applying the 3 so-called Graham factors to Ms. Sherrard's arrest, she would have a strong argument that the officers used excessive force in conducting the arrest and in tasing her when she struggled to get into the vehicle, as it is unclear for what crime she was even arrested for in the first place. And although it is possible that she struggled some against the officers' use of force against her, she was not actively resisting or posing a safety threat to the officers when she was tased or slammed into the vehicle. Additionally, even if Ms. Sherrard did struggle during her arrest, she would still have a legitimate argument that pulling her hair after she was handcuffed and banging her head against the car was excessive.
Exactly. So it's not even clear what she's arrested for. What are the charges? What crime has she committed? And she made the statement multiple times, go ahead and violate my rights, and let's see what's going to happen. Let's see how it's going to go down next. But question, what charge did she commit? What crime did she commit? What is she being arrested for? What charge is she being charged with? What do you see? Talk to me. I can see your comments, and I will answer and respond, and we can converse and definitely do dialogue. All right, School for Justice, let's get it.
Shut the up before I take your to jail too. Get back.
She just got run having a baby. You do not
Go away.
arrest her. Girl, do not push me. What is wrong with you? Who did?
So now the female officer, the backup officer that comes on the scene, that quote unquote or AKA tases her and try to shoves her into the backseat of the car. Now she's attacking the daughter. We just heard her tell the daughter to shut the fuck up when she's asking what's going on. Why are y'all arresting my mother? She come to my house to pick me up. And now they're handcuffing and detaining the daughter. Okay. Also, the lady had her 18-year-old son in the back seat of the car. So we're going to see what happens with him next. What do y'all see? Share your thoughts. Share your thoughts. And we can definitely dialogue on it.
I need to know who did it.
Who did what?
Who tased my mama?
She didn't get tased.
Then why was their taser going off over there?
Checking the fire, I guess.
So then why was their taser?
How about you worry about you? We'll worry about your mama. I don't really give a shit.
Y'all are violating our rights right now.
Which one?
You want to act like a big girl? You're going to get treated like a big girl. So I drive son to her mom to get her in the car. Other than that, she's perfectly fine.
Just drive son? I'm just making sure.
Yeah, no, she just drives son.
And we know you don't give a shit. That's the whole point. You don't care about the community. You're not there to protect and serve. You're not a servant to the public. You're not service to the public. You don't give a shit. So that's the character and the moral conduct that you stand on when you swore was into duty. When you swore into duty, this is your character. You don't give a fuck. So question, woman, why are you there? So now she's attacking the daughter and telling her, you want to act like a big girl, you can get handled like a big girl too. Y'all, these people are on demon time. This is evil, purely evil to the fullest. There is no logical excuse for this. The male officer, the guy, the original officer who arrested her, is his call. It's his choice, his behavior, his conduct. And now he's calling backup for his goons to amen his bullshit.
I did it twice. I'm emotionally invested. Can I take her?
Yes. Well, we were thinking.
I love it when you do this. Going to the hospital. I'm going to come.
It shows they get off on this. They get off on this. You know, that just made her day. You know, it's like a higher rush or adrenaline into these people. Let's back.
Send her mom to get her in the car. Other than that, she's perfectly fine.
I'm just making
So
sure.
that's the son. Actually, that's the son. They got him in handcuffs as well.
Just drive son. But I did it twice. I'm emotionally invested. Can I take her?
Yes. Well, we were thinking.
I love it.
She's emotionally invested. This woman is nuts. Can I take her in? You know, she's getting off on it. They think they're somebody special and they've done something important. This is corruption to the fullest. These people are on demon time. And there's no way they deserve to be in leadership. Share your thoughts, you all. Let's talk about it.
When you do this, going to the hospital. I'm gonna come. I'm talking. I'm telling you what's gonna happen. Okay.
You are very rude.
Taking mom for disorderly conduct, resisting stop halt frisk.
Officer Dyer states that he is taking Ms. Sherrard to jail for disorderly conduct and resisting. Under Section 39-17-305 of the Tennessee Code, quote, a person commits an offense who, in a public place and with intent to cause public annoyance or alarm, engages in fighting or in violent or threatening behavior, refuses to...
So they make up a bogus disorderly conduct charge. Are you kidding me? School for Justice. We just saw what happened. The lady stepped outside the car to find out who was the 2-year-old child that the officer came up to her and asked about. Then, out the blue, all of a sudden, he says he's running her tag because he smells marijuana. And so she said, you shouldn't be running my tag for that purpose, you know, for that reason. Then it was, put your hands behind your back. I'm finna search your car. Let me back. I'm gonna search your car. She said, you can violate my rights if you want to. See, they feel intimidated when you exercise your rights and use your power and use your voice. It's your God-given right. This is inhumane. So now he slaps a bogus charge on her for disorderly conduct. We're going to read disorderly conduct. Chapter 17, offenses against public health, safety, and welfare. A person commits an offense who in a public place and with intent to cause public annoyance or alarm engages in fighting or in violating or threatening behavior. Okay. And lastly, refuses to obey an official order to disperse, issues to maintain public safety in dangerous proximity to a fire, hazard, or other emergencies. That lady has not conducted none of that behavior. She's made none of them actions. She has made none of them actions. This is bogus to the fullest. So he's just making up a charge, folks. There was no disorderly conduct. That lady was outside minding her business, and he approached her and he attacked. So let's continue to read.
to obey an official order to disperse issued to maintain public safety in dangerous proximity to a fire, hazard, or other emergency, or creates a hazardous or physically offensive condition by any act that serves no legitimate purpose. Further, the statute states that, now quoting again, a person also violates this section who makes unreasonable noise that prevents others from carrying on lawful activities. In this instance,
So that was actually the full, all 5 codes of disorderly conduct. This is bogus, man. He's just slapping a charge on her. He's lying about smelling the marijuana in the vehicle. We're going to find that out a little later.
Ms. Sherrard's actions did not appear to rise to the level of disorderly conduct because, although she spoke assertively, she did not even raise her voice at Officer Dyer until right before he grabbed her, and certainly did not make unreasonable noise, engage in fighting.
And the only thing she said is, "Sir, you're violating my rights. What are you doing?" That's all she said. She said, "Violate my rights if you want to, and you're going to answer for it." And that's exactly what happened.
Violent or threatening behavior, or create a hazardous or physically offensive condition. In fact, Officer Dyer's voice was noticeably louder and more aggressive than Ms. Sherrard's was.
I promise you.
You are not going to break my rights right now.
You're about to get your rights in the back of my car. I said put your hands on the car. Put your hand back up.
Hey, don't put your...
Are you having trouble trying to keep up with your professor? You've got to try Otter. Here's how it works.
In her police report, Officer Simmons summarized the encounter differently, stating that after Ms. Sherrard was informed her vehicle would be searched, quote, Sherrard became belligerent with police, screaming and yelling that the police were not going to search the vehicle. Sherrard continued to scream and yell, causing even further disorder. Now, while
lies, and more lies. And this man tells her to put her hands on top of the car so he can go ahead and illegally search it because he claims he smells marijuana. This is nuts. Forget about the child. The baby could be dead. We don't know what's going on with the baby. You don't care anything about protecting and public safety. You just looking to arrest, to attack. These people are corrupt, and they showing their character is very immoral, and there is no integrity. There is no integrity. This is what they're here for, to abuse the power. I keep telling you, Scoop of Justice, it's a power trip. This is a power trip, an ego thing. I believe these people get high off of it. All right, let's see what's going down next.
the behavior described in the police report could potentially support a disorderly conduct conviction, based on the body camera footage of what actually occurred, it seems unlikely that a court would find that Ms. Sherrard could be convicted of disorderly conduct, or that her arrest was even supported by probable cause. As to the resisting charge, according to Section 39-16-602 of the Tennessee Code, quote, it is an offense for a person to intentionally prevent or obstruct anyone known to the person to be a law enforcement officer from effecting a stop, frisk, halt, arrest, or search of any person by using force against the law enforcement officer. Now, although the statute requires an individual to use force against a law enforcement officer, Section 39-11-106 of the Tennessee Code states that, quote, force means compulsion by the use of physical power or violence and shall be broadly construed to accomplish the purposes of this title. And in the 1997 case of State versus Isabor, the Court of Criminal Appeals of Tennessee determined that an individual's actions in flailing his arms and struggling in an effort to avoid being handcuffed were sufficient to...
We saw no excessive force needed. This lady didn't resist anything. She made the statement, you're violating my rights. That's it, and that's all. And it's straight an illegal search of her vehicle. And she said, you don't have a right to do that. She wasn't violent. She didn't attack the officers. She didn't threaten the officers. None of that. All this is bogus. Okay, go ahead and share your thoughts with me and continue to share.
Support a resisting conviction. Accordingly, if Ms. Sherrard physically struggled against the officer's attempts to arrest her, she could potentially be convicted of resisting. However, while the resisting statute also states that, now quoting, except as provided in Section 39-11-611, it is no defense to prosecution under this section that the stop, frisk, halt, arrest, or search was unlawful, Section 39-11-611 of the Tennessee Code allows individuals to use force in self-defense during an arrest when, now quoting, the law enforcement officer officer uses greater force than necessary to make the arrest, and the person using force reasonably believes that the force is immediately necessary to protect against the law enforcement officer's use of greater force than necessary. In other words, as the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals explained in the 2007 case of Roberts versus Anderson,
he tricked her. He acted like he needed help with the baby to find out information on the baby and used her or tricked her to attack. That's what's going on, and that's what we're witnessing right now in the moment.
quote, under Tennessee law, an officer's excessive use of force is a defense to a charge of resisting or evading arrest. Accordingly, while Tennessee allows individuals to be convicted of resisting an arrest that is not supported by probable cause, Ms. Sherrard would be able to attempt to defend herself against any resisting charge by arguing that the officers were using excessive force.
But it could just, the car can just stay here.
So now they got the daughter out here in handcuffs, and they're antagonizing her. All right.
I mean, I'm her daughter. Please don't, like, it's already, like, please don't, because, like, I was out of jail, and I just had a baby.
And I feel for you, and I'm not trying to cause you no headache. You just got to understand, we have a job to do.
You're not trying to cause her no headache, and you got a job to do. Well, where's the child? How's the child's safety? How about doing what you was called out there to see about? What you were assigned to? You tricked this lady into helping you get information about the baby, but you didn't give a damn about the baby. You wasn't out there for the baby. You used that as a tactic to attack and to get what you wanted, and that's an arrest.
Also, step out. Let's talk. How old are you, man?
I'm 18, sir.
All right, now, so this is Miss Sherrod's son. And this is the arresting officer, and he got him handcuffed. All of them, he done handcuffed the whole family. And so now he has him out here questioning him and antagonizing him next. What do you all see is going down? You know, talk to me. Are they Fourth Amendment rights being violated on top of other rights? Because that's what it looks like to me. This is abuse of power at most, at best.
18.
And I'm a man. And like you, why you gotta hit my mama like that, bro?
You gonna keep all right, I tried. You see, I tried to talk to you like a man. I tried to talk.
Why you gotta do her like that, bro?
Get in the car. I tried to talk to you. I tried.
There was no conversation. You asked him how old he was. He said he was 18. I'm an adult. I'm a man. And that was the end of the conversation. I tried to talk to you and get your ass in the car. So now he's bogusly locking up the son, the 18-year-old guy. These people did no crime. Absolutely nothing. No warrant on their arrest. When you ran her register and her tag, her registration, there was no warrant on her, and there's no warrant on him, on none of them. But you got the whole family out here handcuffed. He's on demon time, people. Tell me your thoughts and your comments in the chat, and I would definitely reiterate and conversate with you, and we can dialogue about this thing.
Not you, bro. You see, I tried. You see, I tried to talk to him.
How old is he?
18. He's old enough to take a ride. He goes to the big boy jail. Listen, I want you to know how this would have went. Ma'am, I'm going to have to search your car. Okay. I didn't find anything. Guess what? Have a good night.
After Ms. Sherrard's arrest, the officer...
And you're a damn liar. Because you have no probable cause to search the car. You had no probable cause. So what if you smelt marijuana? You was out there to see about a child. So we're going to continue to see what's going on next. And you just completely a big boy. I tried to bully the son. So you got both of them bogusly arrested. And now you're going to tow the vehicle as well. So what do you all see is going down? Talk to me. I'm here for you.
Searched her vehicle and found no marijuana or any illegal contraband. They also conducted the well child check and found the child in question healthy and happy inside the home.
Oh, so now you finally want to jump on what you was originally called out there for. The 2-year-old child. That's what you was called out there for. And then when you illegally searched the vehicle, there was no illegal substance, no marijuana, no drugs, no nothing. So, y'all, these people are on demon time. They're on demon time. This is evil at its fullest, in is being manifested. That's what I'm looking for. This is evilness and manifestation. Manifesting itself. And we have to conquer that with the light, with the truth, with justice, equality, with what's right. Because it could be you next. It could be your loved one. It could be your family. We have to stop it at its front door before it comes knocking on our door. All right, share your thoughts, people.
Ms. Sherrard was transported by EMS to a hospital where she was medically cleared and then charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. The officers released Haley and Angel's 15-year-old daughter, who had been handcuffed during the encounter, but Devin was charged with disorderly conduct. On April 19, 2022, the state of Tennessee dismissed all charges against Angel and Devin. On July 12, 2022, Angel, Devin, and her minor daughter filed a lawsuit.
July 12th, what a special day for me. And so also, this is another copy of the complaint and of the lawsuit, okay? Circuit Court for Hamilton County, State of Tennessee against Ms. Sherrod, Angel Nicole Sherrod. And she tore that ass up with that lawsuit. See, this is how we got to do them. This is why I stress the issue, how important it is to know your rights. You fight back the right way with the pen and paper. If it's not in writing, it don't exist. So according to the laws, the guidelines, policies, procedures, rules, regulations, we put that pen and paper on them. She fired his ass up, the whole police department, his superior, with the pen and paper. Always keep this in mind, School for Justice, is power in the pen. So know your rights. And she went about it the right way, the legal way. There's a right way to stand up, rise up, and fight back for justice. And this is a copy again, once again, of the actual lawsuit.
In state court, and the case was removed to federal court on August 11th, 2022. The lawsuit alleged multiple constitutional violations and state law tort claims.
It went all the way to feds. Let me tell you something. Your federal will always trump state. Your federal rights will always trump state rights. So she took it to the box, to the max, and it went up there to the feds. And so this is a continued part of the complaint.
Against the individual officers involved in the encounter, as well as the city of East Ridge. On September 21st, 2023, the Sherrards reached a settlement agreement with East Ridge. Although the amount received by the adult Sherrards has not been disclosed, due to Tennessee laws requiring court approval of settlements and legal fees for minors, we know that Ms. Sherrard's minor daughter received a settlement of $10,000, with $4,000 of that sum being paid to her attorney. Now, although the population of East Ridge is less than 22,000, the Sherrards' lawsuit is not the only civil rights case that has recently been filed against the city alleging police misconduct, including.
So it's a small town there, and the daughter, because she was a minor under the age of 18, they disclosed her amount. She got paid $10,000. So the adults got paid even more because they was violated even more, and they was bogusly thrown into jail. You know, slapped around, roughed up, and thrown into the jail for nothing. Absolutely nothing. No crime, no nothing. So you paid them in the end. They got paid. All right. And let's continue to look at the rest of the documents.
Including a case where Officer Dyer is accused of using excessive force against a citizen, and Officer Miller is accused of failing to intervene. And another lawsuit alleging that Officer Simmons used excessive force in preventing a patient from leaving a hospital. On December 22nd, 2022, the East Ridge Police Department.
So in other words, this woman got a history. The police department, they have a history. Is other people there in that county, and it's a small town. They're in Tennessee in the South. So in the country, small town, that they have multiple lawsuits against these folks, these officers, quote unquote officers. They have a history. This is their character. They have a pattern. All right. And this is one on that female officer who, quote unquote, tased Miss Sherrod or tased that lady.
Fired Officer Simmons for so-called use of force and so-called discourteous behavior during another encounter. On December 29th, 2022, it was confirmed that Officer Simmons had been hired by the Bradley County Sheriff's Office less than a week after her termination, as she was reported as the department's first responding officer to a car accident on Christmas.
After her termination, A week later, she was trying to get promoted and she got cut off.
Christmas Day. In May of 2023, Officer Simmons resigned from the Bradley County Sheriff's Office for undisclosed reasons. No disciplinary action has been publicly reported for the other officers involved in the encounter with the Sherrards. Overall, the East Ridge officers get an
Listen, it's called Connect Team, and it's insane. I don't do schedules or timesheets manually anymore. And it work?
Skip the ad.
For using unnecessary force against Ms. Sherrard, blatantly
And so basically the narrator, he does his thing and he grades, everybody, all participants inside of and parties inside of the content.
An apparent attempt to manufacture criminality and justify their actions, and seeming to take pleasure in subjecting Ms. Sherrard to both physical abuse and emotionally demeaning behavior. Officer Simmons, in particular, seemed to relish misusing her authority, telling Ms. Sherrard, and I quote, "sucks to be you," when she revealed that she could not fit in the backseat of the police vehicle, and openly admitting that she was, quote unquote, emotionally invested in seeing Ms. Sherrard be processed, despite the fact that she had not committed any crimes. There are too many issues with the officers' behavior in this encounter for us to discuss all of them, but on the whole, they remained unprofessional, aggressive, and cruel throughout the interaction, and likely violated the constitutional rights of all of the present members of the Sherrard family. Ms. Sherrard gets an A- because while she was mistaken about the legality of Officer Dyer's decision to run her tags, she opposed a potentially illegal search of her vehicle, fought the charges against her in court, and took proper legal action against the officers after the encounter. Although the search of her vehicle may have been lawful if Officer Dyer actually smelled marijuana, given the clear lack of honesty in the way the East Ridge PD represented other aspects of the encounter and the absence of marijuana in the vehicle, it is more than plausible that Officer Dyer was simply lying about the odor, which would make the search clearly
He lied about it, folks. He lied about it, which was violation in an illegal search with no warrant.
Constitutional. Beyond that, the physical force and verbal abuse that Ms. Sherrard and her family were subjected to during this altercation was inexcusable, and I commend the Sherrards for filing a lawsuit to attempt to hold these officers accountable for their reprehensible actions. Let us know if there's an interaction or legal topic.
So y'all folks, this is why I'm here, so we can learn our rights, learn how to exercise our rights, learn how to use our voice, our tools, our weapons, and power. And always remember, it's definitely power in the pen. We should share and we spread enlightenment to overcome and to conquer the brutality, the evilness, the darkness by shining that light. And until next time, I'm glad to have you here at School for Justice, where we live, love, laugh, conquer police brutality, and always, always, let's speak truth to power. Salute.